Hey guys, welcome in that video about the animation layers of the layout editor. So in this video, we're gonna speak about some specific layers within the layout tools, which are those three here. One is the posture node, the rig node, and the ground adaptation node, which are the three nodes related to the animation of a character within the layout tools. If you haven't watched it or if you're not familiar with that layout tool, we recommend watching the video tutorial called Introduction to the Layout Tool. And as soon as you've been watching this one, then you can jump into that video there. I'll start with the ground adaptation one. So here what I'm having into my viewport is a simulation I've been exported of some characters walking on the terrain. Just playing a dump walk animation and adapting to the terrain. As soon as I will have to translate my characters, so I can press F9 here and move my characters into a different position. As soon as I'm going to translating my characters, obviously, even if they follow the terrain, they're not exactly adapted with all the eye key and feet and ground adaptation. So how does it work? As soon as you export your simulation cache, if you got a terrain node into your scene, such as here, when you're going to export for the first time, it would ask you, would you like to export the terrain for a layout? So you will export the terrain here, so I'm within the cache proxy node. It will export it within the same directory than your cache and name it exactly the same way than your cache here. So when we are in layout, we know what's the terrain we need to adapt on. So what's going on is by default, we do a snap 8 only. So what's going on is we just figure what's the position of your characters before they get translated, what's the new 8 elevation at that new position once you translate your characters, and apply the same deformation there. So if your characters are really far in the background and you won't really see their feet, most of the time it's pretty okay because it's really efficient. It computes fast, and people won't notice that it's not a perfect ground adaptation. If you really need to have heavy ground adaptation, then you can use the ground adaptation layers. So obviously you can change the option here. You can specify that you want to have known ground adaptation, so that's going to apply to all the entities of your cache proxy. Snap 8 only, which is the default mode. Snap 8 and orient, so this is, let's say if you do a cars, so for example, you want them to follow the normal of your ground because they are rigid objects, or you want to perform a eye key ground adaptation. So those four options, those are exactly the same than the one we'll be able to see within the ground adaptation layer. So I'm going to stay with the snap 8 only here, and what I would like to do is only apply a nice eye key adaptation to those characters only. So I've got my selector only selects those guys here. I've got my translator, which brings them into a different position, and if I bring a ground node and set it next to the translate, now it applies to my character. I can select it. So by default, it's a snap 8, so I can apply known. Known means that they won't get any adaptation. Snap 8 and orientation, which means they're going to be adapted on the normal of the ground, but what I want to have here is IK. So you can see that now, so that's before, that's after, that's before. So you can see the root, the knee, the orientation of the feet, they're all going to be influenced by that layer, and now you can see that your feet are correctly blended into the ground, where before with the snap 8, they were not correctly planted, they were just slightly above. So with the eye key, it's now way more realistic, but keep in mind that it can be computer, it can require some computing time to perform this operation. So you don't want to apply this to thousands and thousands of entities all the time. So that's for the ground adaptation node. Hope it makes sense. Then let's jump into the two other nodes. If you've been using Golem before, there's one you may be familiar with. It's the posture node. So with that posture node, you're able to reanimate some bunch of postures and applying some offsets to some orientation of your bones. So let's say I would like to change the parser of that guy here. I can bring a selector node here, which has my ID or my entity within it. I can set it as root with the V key, and I can make a connection by using the middle click, and now my poster node is becoming the root node and becomes active. So what you need to perform, if you were using Golem 6 before, your skeleton will apply as a GPU, not really controllable rig somehow. So what you need to do now is to right click on your node here and say that you want to create the poster node. So you may have noticed that it had taken a while, and at the end it had created a new node into your scene, and that new node, as you can see, if you go below here, references like a skeleton. So I can go maybe with the show skeleton joint here, and maybe I can change my joint size quickly so it's more obvious what's going on here. So I can go into display, animation, joint size, and maybe get a lower joint size here, something like 0.4. Okay, and as soon as you move your character, you can see that that node here is following, and your keyframes get updated here within the viewport. And when you are into the add mode of your node here, of the poster node, so you have either add or set. When you are into the add mode, so what you're doing is you're adding some offsets onto your posters. So you can go back into F8 object mode, you can grab your arm here, and you can reorient to apply an offset if you want to, and that offset gets applied the whole duration of your cache. And this is just saved as a new layer on top of your cache. And what's really nice about it is that it can be keyframed. So I can say, okay, this is going to be my offset here. So I can set a keyframe there, and this is going to be my offset into that frame there, for example, and specify a key here. And now you're having your nice adaptation going on from one keyframe to the other. So it's a really nice and quick way to reanimate one of the posture of your node by using forward kinematics. So okay, forward kinematics can make sense, but sometimes you want to use inverse kinematics. So let's say I would like to use inverse kinematics onto that character here. So once again, I can go F9, perform my selection here on my character, and I can translate that character to put it maybe here, there, something like here. Okay, here we go. And what I can do is now bring a rig node. So my rig node, I'm connected to my translate here. And once again, if I right click, create rig node, it's going to create a new node in your scene. Instead of creating a crowd cache posture node, it creates a crowd cache rig node. And you can see that's not exactly the same stuff here. Before we had a skeleton where we could do some forward kinematics. Now we got a full IKEY rig which has been created by Golem, which is right below there with all the controllers. And those controllers, the same way, can be reanimated. So I can go F8 to go into object mode, and I can grab my effector, change it the way I want to, and I can keyframe that. So it means that that rig node here, I can create it, I can save my scene, I can give that to an animator, and I can ask an animator to reanimate some of the layers by using either the IKEY controllers and keyframing them, and also using the pole vectors to change the pole vectors of your frame. And now you can see that this operation gets propagated to all your characters, and you can keyframe that. And the really nice thing is that, let's say you're really happy with that modification, you can apply that to any other character thanks to the flexibility of the layout node. So I can go back with F9, maybe selecting that character here, create a new selector here, and say that I want to apply that reg node, and you can see that now the characters gets applied with the same IKEY offset that have been applied onto my characters. So I hope this makes sense, those three nodes, and hope to see you into the next video.